They left behind the biggest environmental disaster in North America, and probably comparable to anything else in the world. And they left humongous, like, acid rock drainage was pouring from the tailings ponds into the ecosystems and killing off our salmon, killing off fish, and killing off everything else that depended on that, including the animals that came down to drink, the plants that grew beside the area.
The struggle we're facing in our community is the government's not honoring their commitments to the trilateral agreement that they signed with us.
For us, it's a real, we live on sockeye, or we live on the fish, the salmon. We have very small land bases because they tell us we're fishers, not farmers. So now they're taking the fish away from us, and even the gravel, you know, that could be an economic benefit to our people.
How they survived, and all of that is gone. And even today, we can't even drink our own water. We're really in the worst state we've always been in, because some of them have been hungry so long that they're even talking about fee simple lands. They can sell their house and their lot to anybody. We can't have that. And they're talking about a lot of tough things right now, and they're getting desperate because they think they can't get BC. They had no right in BC, they ran out of money.
Right now I'm in the process of reclaiming a hydro facility that was illegally built in our territory. And as of today, we've been quite successful in our struggle.
We're the richest people on God's earth here, and what do we have to show for it? In BC here, our people are so poor that I've been sick for the last few years just thinking about it. And I found out just today that the government here is taking our gravel and selling it to China. Now why, you ask? Because there's gold in it.
I think St. Pete's has killed every little worm, right to a big moose, right down to the smallest little worm on that land. We don't have nothing.
Been a lot of different meetings where not really nothing's happening. We're just talking. In '95, we tried many different going into courts. Although we had the best legal arguments, but the judges don't want to listen.
We've been involved in fighting logging in our traditional territory. We put up a blockade in December 2002, and so far it's been the longest standing blockade in Canadian history.
We see this process as hobbling the representatives, and the representatives are hobbled because they're paid by the government. And when you're paid by the government, you will do what the government tells you to do. It takes away their independence.
And what we have been doing is fighting against the Crown Corporation of MB Power for illegally building a dam in our community.
It's not just like tanker traffic from the northwest coast all the way down to California, but just any barges or BC ferries. All these things impact our food and our fishing grounds. And we see the further south we go, the more contaminated and destroyed all the fishing sources are, the food sources.
Over $14 billion have come out of our traditional territory in revenue for the Alberta government, and yet my family goes without running water.
We got raided in April 20th, 2006. The RCMP, the OPP raided us. They tasered our people, the women. There was as many as police officers as 6 on one person. And the children were in the camp. They just didn't care.
I know all of you guys know that Indian status card number. That's all you are to the government. That's how they identify you. That's how they track you. How do we get rid of that? They have gone through this exercise to impose themselves on our land and impose themselves on every aspect of our life. How do we shed ourselves from that?